So some of you watching are already landlords, and some of you are just thinking about buying your first rental property. In today's video, I want to talk to you about what we call the landlord mindset. So whether you're already a landlord or whether you're not, understanding what this is and adopting it into your own life can really help make the experience better for you and for your tenant when you have a rental property. So stay tuned. If you want great landlord tips and tricks, I hope you'll subscribe to our channel, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified every Wednesday when we post a new video. Having the right mindset is so important in everything we do, right? We hear about this all the time, from things in our personal life to our business, and what we do and the way we think about things and the way we ultimately handle different kinds of situations can mean the difference between a bad outcome and one that's truly great. And being a landlord is no different. You've got to have the right mindset to have the right outcome. My name is Sue Richey, and I'm the principal broker of Richey Property Management. We're a residential property management firm in Northern Virginia, and we help so many owners when they come to us try to understand, and we coach them about having the right kind of mindset. Because for many of these people, the property they're turning over to us to manage has been their primary residence, and they are emotionally tied to it. So this landlord mindset mentality is meant to really help them separate the emotion of the home to one that is now technically a business for them. So today's video is much more about the fluffy stuff. It's much more about the psychological part of being a landlord, not so much of the practical to-dos that we talk about in so many of our other videos, but it's really about having that right psychological mindset so that you can approach decisions from a much more rational and methodical way instead of one that's filled with emotion that can really turn ugly. Okay, so tip number one, your home is not your home anymore. It is now a business. So as a business owner, you are responsible for taking care of your customer. Your tenant is your customer, and you need to provide great customer service for that customer. You need to establish sound business practices. You need to have good systems and operations in place, and especially with a rental property business, consistency is key, and treating everybody the same, every situation the same, is so important so you don't get yourself in trouble. So now you really need to take a step back and separate yourself, as I said, from the home and looking at this as a business. And as a business does, you'll have systems and technology that you'll incorporate into the business so that you give your tenant a great professional experience, and it'll make your life easier too, especially when you do your taxes. Okay, so tip number two, your home is not going to look the same when you go back to it or when you turn it over as it did when you left it. We sometimes have owners get upset when they come back to their home, and let's say they've been gone for a few years and they come back to the home. We've had a great tenant in there, we've done all the proper inspections, we've taken care of it. But you know what? People live very differently, and there will be normal wear and tear on the house. Obviously, we have security deposits. You would have a security deposit for true damage that you could use to repair that damage. But normal wear and tear happens. If you lived in the house, there would be normal wear and tear, but you probably wouldn't get upset about it. So you need to know that this is going to happen up front, so that when you walk into the home after the tenant vacates and there are marks on the wall, or the carpet's really worn, or the front yard just doesn't look like you used to leave it, you used to take care of it, you can't get upset about that. It's just part of the process. You might get upset, but you kind of have to keep reminding yourself, I'm a landlord now. This is a business. I'm just going to fix it and take care of it. Take the emotion out of it. It will make for a much more pleasant outcome. Okay, tip number three. Nobody really wants to hear this, but expect to spend money. Know that you have to spend money. So let's say you even if your property is fairly new, there's always going to be something that breaks. Along the way, something is going to break. The appliances have a certain lifespan. Your HVAC systems, they have a certain lifespan. The roof needs to be replaced. The yard needs maintenance. Walkways break. Like gutters need replaced. Things happen. You have to expect to spend money along the way. And every time you turn over a tenant, you're going to have to do something too. Even if they were a great tenant and they did very little damage, if any, you might have to freshen up the paint. Maybe you have to replace carpet. You're certainly going to have to do something probably on the outside to freshen up the yard, give it better curb appeal. So no matter what, you need to have reserves, budget for these sorts of things, and don't be shocked when you have to spend money. I don't like it. We own several properties that are in our portfolio. I don't love spending the money every time, but I know that this is just part of it. And if it's not right for you, everybody isn't cut out to be a landlord. So if all of this kind of stuff stresses you out, you need to think twice about buying a rental property, even if you have a property manager. Because when we tell owners sometimes that we tell them that something's wrong, the emotions start to come out, even though they know they have to do it and that we're right. It just is that way. So again, it's another part of the process about changing that mindset, just to know you got to spend money. So do you feel like you have the right landlord mindset? And what lessons have you learned along the way, and what kinds of mistakes have you had? We would love to hear your stories. If you want to share them in the comments below, you can help other people, and you probably have other tips besides what I'm sharing here that could really, really help. Okay, tip number 4, follow rules in a consistent, logical way. I said this a minute ago about how important it is, especially in a property management, rental property business, to be consistent. You never want to be in a situation where you could be accused of discrimination. So treating everyone consistently, fairly, the same way, very, very important. You want to make sure that in your lease you have the proper clauses, that it's just a very comprehensive lease. You can watch our video about 5 clauses that you should consider putting into your lease. The video is right here. And just make sure that you follow all of those rules, and that will also help you know exactly how to react to certain situations. What should you do if the tenant is late with their rent? What should you do with the security deposit? You've set up all these expectations and processes up front, not only for you, but for your tenant, so there are no surprises. And having all of that built in will help your mindset and help you with each situation that you encounter. And my last tip is to be entrepreneurial. This is a fun business. It really can be a fun business. You have a great asset. You have someone paying the rent, which is helping you pay your mortgage payment. You're building equity. There are many, many things in this business that you have to be a rule follower for, just like any business. You've got to follow laws. You have to be consistent, as I mentioned. But you can also be entrepreneurial. You can be creative. For example, one area you really can be creative about is in marketing. If you're finding tenants yourself, look at other ways that you can find them. Yes, you're going to probably take pictures. You'll put it online. Maybe you're going to do a property video and do something creative to let people get a good sense of your property. Maybe you can do something different on social media that other people are not doing. Don't do the same thing. Just be innovative. That's what we do as business owners. To me, that's really the fun part about owning a business, is finding all kinds of different ways to do things that other people are not doing. You know that old saying that says, if you always do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. It's very true. So be innovative. So I hope these few tips have given you some things to think about and ways to adopt what I call the landlord mindset. So it will help you with your rental property. It will help you, it will help your tenant, and most of all, it will help your mindset. So thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with other people that you know that could benefit from this information. I hope you'll like our video and keep coming back and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.